What concretely is the the National Communication Council,
NCC,
the NCC, thank you very much, doing to ensure that the freedom of expression or the freedom of speech is maintained? In a country wherein the freedom of expression and media plurality are key, it often becomes difficult to blur the lines between freedom of speech and licentiousness. And that's where the National Communication Council comes in order to regulate matters. Our guest on set is Joseph Chebonken Kalabopse. He's the president of the National Communication Council. He'll be discussing with us his role in eradicating media excesses and maintaining social cohesion in Cameroon. And in the course of this interview, we'll be joined live from Studio 2 by Sabrina and G to add more flesh to that topic. I'm Kingsley Chia, and you're watching the Grand Interview on PRC TV. Welcome to the Presidency.
The pleasure is shared. Good day.
Welcome to the Presidency once again.
Thank you.
Now, you are the president of the National Communication Council in Cameroon, appointed in 2021 by the President of the Republic. A man who has showed by his actions that he's willing to promote freedom of speech, especially back in 1990 when he liberalized political parties and also gave the opportunity for media sectors to be enlarged. Now tell me, what concretely is the the National Communication Council,
NCC,
the NCC, thank you very much, doing to ensure that the freedom of expression or the freedom of speech is maintained?
During my installation, I said, we will educate, sensitize, but also sanction. We feel at the level of the National Communication Council that journalists should try as much as possible to be responsible. And this responsibility goes with obligations. They have a right to publish, but have an obligation also to safeguard a number of givens that holds the society together.
So if I get you very well, you're saying apart from the role of the National Communication Council to regulate matters, it behoves them to check upon themselves.
That is what I would call peer review and self-control.
Now, just in the course of this ongoing year, 2025, we've had a couple of media personalities in certain media outlets being sanctioned or called out by your institution, especially when it came to the political domain. And usually, after you call out people, if they don't heed to your calls, you sanction. And when we talk to many Cameroonians about the National Communication Council, the first thing they have in mind is an institution that's out to sanction either media practitioners or media owners. On what basis do you exactly met out sanctions? How often do you need to call out people, warn them before you strike?
Every Cameroonian or everybody has a right to his or her opinion about not only about the National Communication Council, but on every issue. And you don't expect to sanction people or a journalist or a press organ and be praised for doing that. And so we are conscious of that. But we don't sanction people because we want to sanction them. We sanction people because they have committed a professional fault or professional error. And the council does not sanction systematically. Those of them who are true to themselves will tell you, especially journalists, that the council has vindicated many people who were summoned to the council for having written offensive articles or said offensive issues concerning individuals or institutions. When the council examines the report or the excerpt of the incriminating story and finds out that it was done professionally, the council vindicates the journalists. And we have done that severally. But our role is not to put it at the level of the public to say we want to buy ourselves because, see, this journalist was supposed to be sanctioned. We did not sanction him. No, that's not our role. We play our role as the media watchdog of the country. The utilization of the democratic wherewithal, where people can express themselves. But where it hurts is where they want to turn the freedom of expression into insult or denigrate authorities or institutions. That's where it hurts.
Okay, Joe, last question. This is just an impression from you. You are a former student of the Advanced School of Mass Communication. I believe you graduated in the year 1989, if I'm not mistaken.
You're right.
You're a former journalist at the Cameroon Radio Television. You started as a sport journalist before moving to other things, and of course presenting the news as well. Used to watch you when I was a kid. Now, your impression, do you have the impression as a former journalist, now turned president of the National Communication Council, that journalism is on the decline or rising in Cameroon?
I question the professionalism of some of our youngsters. And there are instances where I praise some of their inputs. And so it will be difficult to give a global assessment since we haven't carried out any research. But one thing which we've noticed with the youngsters of today is that they are so money hungry and so position hungry that they would want to break everything along their lines to grab the money or to grab professions post.
We wish you a nice day as you go back to your office and your work.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was it for this other segment of the Grand Interview, and of course for this edition of the Grand Interview. We're glad to know you were watching us. Just stay tuned to PRC TV. We'll be coming up with other programs and interesting things as well. See you next time on the Grand Interview. Have a nice day. Bye.